Let's take a look at Sofi stock and see what's happening. We'll definitely touch on volatility. I'll also show you my portfolio, the positions I've closed, and the ones I've opened to outpace Sofi stock. Next, we'll look at the volatility smile. I'll show you a report for the week detailing what I've been able to do with this stock. Let's start from the beginning. During this week, there hasn't been much movement in the stock. It's grown slightly, but we continue to be in consolidation. Let's see what volatility tells us. Volatility is around 65%, reaching 70% for some individual strikes, which we will also take into account. Moving on to the volatility smile, we see that it's shifted towards the downside, towards the puts. It's a flat line towards the upside. This indicates that investors are hedging against declines and factoring in the probability. Next, we'll look at historical and implied volatility. Currently, the white line represents implied volatility. Both volatilities are approximately at the same level. We can't gain any advantage here because they're equal. Let's look at options trading volume. There's a very large volume concentrated around the $8 and $7.5 levels for call options. For put options, it's $7.5 and $7. There's also significant use of weekly options, as we see the green line without options expiring next week. This needs to be taken into account as well. Let's look at my portfolio and what's happening there. As we can see, options have expired. I had an expiration for the $6.5 call and the $8.5 call, as well as the $7 put. Let's take a look at the table with all these options. They closed at $0, so I'm making adjustments. In fact, at the moment, this results in a profit. In total, for this week, I've gained approximately $60 from trading. Currently, I only have two options left, the $8 put and the $8.5 put. Next week, I'll continue to open options. I've bought 200 shares at an average price of $8.16. I'll need to sell calls to adjust my average cost. The market is closed for the weekend, but I'll definitely continue to combine this strategy, build a sound position, and manage my portfolio to outpace Sofi stock. Let's summarize the past week. Currently, Sofi stock is priced at $7.30. I'll add this to the table. As we can see, considering the purchased shares, my portfolio outperforms Sofi stock by almost 9%. Just a reminder, the initial investment was $10,000. My goal is to outperform this stock through effective position management. I discuss this in every video. You can refer to previous videos where I show how I open and close trades. I'll also attach this table in the description for you to access for free. Now let's look at the graph. The blue line represents my strategy, while the red line represents Sofi stock. So far, my strategy is gradually starting to show some gains. I have a fixed profit from the sold options, which I'll reinvest into buying stocks. In the future, I'll continue to create combination strategies, but it needs to be done smoothly. When forming your portfolio, never rush. Everything should be done as gradually and as skillfully as possible. Eventually, I want to open a real account with $0 and show you how to start earning from $0, absolute zero. I'll demonstrate how to intelligently form a portfolio and manage it. But again, this will happen a bit later. If you're interested in this, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Now, back to the stock, it's important to steadily open positions. Never invest all your money at once. I'm gradually opening and closing positions, and that's where success lies. Next week, I'll continue to open and close options positions. For now, the situation completely satisfies me. If there's any unexpected event, I'm insured against any massive movements in either direction. Let's return to Sofi stock. Where could it go? Let me remind you of my philosophy. I don't know where the stock will go. I don't know how to predict price movements. I'll tell you honestly and openly, I have no idea. Everyone who claims to know where a stock is headed is simply lying to you. But then the question arises, how do you make money? The answer is smart portfolio and position management. If you learn to manage your position skillfully, you'll forget about all this analysis. It won't matter to you where the stock is going, up or down. Right now, it doesn't matter to me. If it goes down, I'll sell puts. Maybe I'll buy a few call options. I'll create an additional strategy. If it goes up, that's also good for me because I have bought stocks. I also have sold puts that will start making me money. That's what real position management is. Write to me for advice if you need help in composing a sound portfolio. But if we look technically, as we see, the stock is approaching its support at $6.50. If we break through it, there's a likelihood that we could go even lower. Again, I'm prepared for that. I'm even waiting for it. As for the broader picture, if you believe in this stock, if you think it will grow in the long term, then it doesn't really matter at what price you buy it. Because as an investor, it's not very important to you whether you buy it at $7 or $6. But again, if you're a trader, then of course this situation changes. Then you need to actively monitor this company. I conducted a poll on my channel, and as we see, the votes are evenly distributed between the rise, fall, and consolidation of the stock. But the final result will be revealed after a month. We'll launch a new poll and see who turns out to be right. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my experiment, where I'll start a new account with $0, and we'll grow it together. I also recommend you to watch this video. There I also show the strategy, how I open options, how I close options, and the whole logic is devoted to this stock.